Everyone, welcome to my channel and this series of de-pathologizing our children. Keep staying tuned for more videos on these types of topics. Suggest any if you like as well. So today I'm going to be talking about the nature, the earthy, resistant children. That can be children who resist food, especially grounded food. It can be essential oils. They don't even like the woody ones. It can be anything to do with the outdoors, and or it can be to do with anything in creating, especially with hands, but creating anything. Now, I'm going to explain that in a bit more now. What I see is everything through star, heart, and earth energy. The earth energy is what we're talking these children are avoiding. I'm literally up like this. All the posture is up. I don't want to be here on earth. Now, that's a hard thing for us mothers to consider that, oh, my child doesn't want to be here. But every mum that I work with, when we get one of these children, we start to go, what's happened since they were in the womb, birth, and onwards? Of course, there's been a lot of tough, stressful things that these type of children have responded by and technically dissociating out of their body, which makes it very hard to be in your body. And that brings up a million other topics. But this is why they are preferring, let's say, the lemon essential oils and something nice and light. It's the starriness. They prefer to take in information instead of creating things with their hands. It's the starriness. I've just written it all down. They prefer to be gaming, even reading inside. It's the starriness. So all of those things are the opposite, and the star energy, the airy, the light things, the information and whatnot. The earth stuff is where most of us women are sitting to go, but the earth stuff is good. It's good. We've been conditioned from the mainstream world, but particularly with the new age spiritual world of you must get outside and the grounding and all of that. And we are freaking out when our children aren't doing that. But I'm here to depathologize your child, to say, no, there's only so many of us that can be interested in exploring the earth energy at once on this world, because we're all here to balance each other out. So star, heart, earth energy has to balance itself out. So there's equal amounts of heart energy, star energy, and earth energy across people and within one person in the world. So if everyone was earthy, eating the earthy foods, going outside and whatnot, you can imagine the heart stuff, the connectors, the people who are doing a lot of feeling and communication work. The starry ones are doing all the information and the creating in the intuitive space and the intelligent space, gone. So we need to remember that our children have responded to their stress to come back up into the star energy, because that's where they're supposed to be exploring. So we really need to look at our child like that to go, okay, so you're having an exploration and what it feels like, let's say, to not want to eat food, or to play lots of gaming, or to resist going out on hikes with the families, right? And all of these things are good and fine. Yes, these things bring up a shark music for us mothers to go, yep, technically there's something that's not so right, because the more they pull one way, the starry energy, the more they're not in balance within themselves. And you want star, heart, earth energy as balanced as you can. So when things are getting out of balance, that's what does tell us mums, yep, there's something wrong here. But I also want to remind you, the more earthy people are in the family, well, you're pulling the other way. So the more you're trying to earth and do all the earthiness of raw foods and going out on hikes and, doing all of that, you're going to have someone in opposite in your family bubble. And I've got other videos around the family bubble and how we're all here balancing ourselves on this channel if you want to look at it. So that's the most important thing to remember, is that there's light and dark in everything. So look for the light in what your child is exploring, even if that is, what's the light in them choosing not to eat much food? What's the light in them spending hours in the gaming world? I'm just making some of these things up. There's plenty more. But coming back to the nature resistant child, that's the next thing, is to remember your family team. So how can we do this when some players want to get out and go on a hike, some do not? It does come down to compromises. It does come down to emotions. If your child is, nope, I'm here and this is where I'm at, because the trauma for me to go outside and face the earth, which would mean I'm actually choosing to be here, the more I feel the earth, feel the food, whatnot. If that's too grand for them, then that is telling you, unfortunately, as a family team, it's your turn to feel the emotions of what it feels like to not be able to go out on hikes. You can, if you can do it by yourself, obviously there's that thought as well. Do you feel to go out on a hike by yourself or with whoever else you can arrange? But what is your family dream here? What is your yearning as a mum? I just yearn for us all to be able to go out into nature as a group. If that's not happening at this time, then it's inner work. You can only come back to your feelings and honoring them because there is good reason for these feelings, which I cover in a good length in my book, The Game of Life, How to Play the New Way. You can buy that down below. But that's the main part, is to remember this is all happening for good reason. Like I've said in other videos, and I've gone to, much more detail in my book, you are it. Your actors, your people in the external world are reflecting things for you to feel. How does it feel now, mum, when I stop eating? How does it feel now, mum, when I don't want to have those, earthy essential oils? How does it feel now when I go, I don't want to do craft? How does it feel when I reject what you think would be good for me? And that's a massive cloak of ego to take off as a mother, to go, right, my child is having their own path. It's not for me to come in and try to convince, sell, bribe, make them do anything that's really not on their path. That does bring up a can of worms of like, hang on, let's just say, what if they start doing crazy things? Yes, there's another whole can of worms there. That's not for today. That's what I cover in my work, in mentorships, and in the New Woman. It's my 6-month embodiment journey. Do have a look on my website about that, HeidiHosking.com. So that's the earth resistant child, the nature resistant child. We must understand that they are responding that way because of the bigger, deeper hurts. And that is your work as a mum, to firstly dive into yourself, to start to go, what does it feel like to be a mum of a child who had those traumatic events that made them go like this? You may have to sift and search. There will be things that made them go like this. But remember, that's who they are, and they were always going to play it out like this. The starry kids tend to be taller, skinnier, wispier, lighter. That's who they were. It's on their path. So remember that there's nothing wrong. Remember that there will be certain time where they will explore earth energy more so in their life's path. Right now is a season of life for them to be exploring more of the star energy, and it's for you to own. If you are feeling they need to do the earth energy, then you do it. And it's your calling, then you do the earth energy well, and let them see you embodying your season of life, and or your other family members as well. This is the tricky part in the compromising and the communication and the feeling. That's the hard energy between family members, is all of that stuff in the middle that often we would rather not do. Now, I just want to remind you, as I'm saying in these videos, if you are making it about your child and ranting to other friends, oh, they won't go out, or going and seeking professional help, or having a go at your child, that is sitting that pathologizing energy on them, that they're not doing their path right. They are making your life tricky. Now, that's virtually impossible as a mom not to offload some of that energy onto them, particularly when we're not used to feeling our disappointment, when they don't want to go on a family hike, to actually sit down and have a cry and just be saying, I just really yearn for us all to be able to go out on a family hike together. That's the part that we need to go forth and practice. So please remember to keep talking to your child about that too, in the positive, like what they're doing well as far as exploring this starry stuff. Oh, I can see it's on your path to be looking at more information right now, or even the gaming. I wonder what you're getting out of that. And make sure you stand up to your own monkey mind, that there is light in everything that we do here on earth. Whether you choose to see it or not is a different story. But the more you start to see the light in what your child is going through, the more you will come onto the same page with them and find the heart connection. And that's where things take off in a great way as a family team. The more you're aiming for heart connection as priority, not what mama knows or thinks is best. So please help me out in sending these videos, share them to wherever, Facebook groups, friends, whatever you can do to get these messages out if it resonates for you. If you're in those right circles where people have got, like, let's say, a lot of gaming children, to really understand this, it's so important to keep this message going, because I am one of a kind, or not one of a kind, one of few that are saying these types of messages, versus the other messages of your children are wrong if they're not going out in nature, your children are wrong if they are whatever. And that's why I'm creating this series of videos, to depathologize our children, because it all comes back to you are it. This book, I'm going to, put it out there again. It's so important for us to understand that you can change your external reality in every way you like by shifting something within yourself. If you go about it and trying to change others, you're going to snap heart connections with your family members and everyone else around you, and you're actually distracting yourself from doing your own work here as your soul of this path. Otherwise, I'll see you all again soon. Bye.